Good evening, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? We're happy to have you here for the Thick and Spooky Ghouls, episode 18. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Today we've got the Floof joining us for episode 18 of the Thick and Spooky Ghouls podcast. I'm very excited for this. I can't believe it's already episode 18. You guys know that there's been more than 18 episodes. We have a couple bonus episodes that's on our YouTube and our Instagram alone. So technically 18, 19, 20, 21. So, 21 episodes so far. I still can't believe we're already here. And this started about October of 2023, right? That's when we started. Yeah, October 2023. So it's been over a year already. We did start posting our things in May last year on Spotify. So it's a good change, and I'm really excited to have Sasquatch here. I know that the first few months of this year we didn't have any guests, so I'm happy to have a guest joining us again. Melty did a great job covering for us last time. That was absolutely amazing for Melty to come join us. I hope you guys watch those episodes. They're now on Spotify, so you can listen to them. All episodes 1 through 17 is now on Spotify, and there should be a Spooky Slumber Party getting released either tomorrow or Sunday on there, so you'll get a bonus content there. And I believe it's also getting published on YouTube either tomorrow, and it won't be on Twitch. I'm actually kind of depressed because I don't know if you guys are aware, but Twitch had this let me go ahead and pull them over here because they can join the conversation. So hold on, let me go ahead and unmute so they can hear me over here, and they can unmute and undeafen. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to, like, I enjoy doing these live, and so it's great that we're doing it live, but unfortunately with the way they're changing things on Twitch where they're
The
not
storage,
the
yes.
storage. So you guys, we will still go live on Twitch, just only some of our episodes will be available on Twitch. So if you miss the first few episodes, they're probably going to get removed from Twitch because of the limit that they've put. I think it's like 100. It's a very small amount of
Yeah.
like you only get 100 hours, and once you get to 100 hours, you're SOL. So a lot of the
Check out
episodes,
Daku's YouTube.
yeah, so a lot of the episodes, if you want the visual aspect of it all, you'll see it on YouTube. If you're okay with just listening to us, Spotify is the way to go. But unfortunately, with the changes happening with Twitch right now, where they're limiting our information or what we have published on here for like saved videos, it's going to have to get rid of several episodes. Because right now, with just the stuff that I have, I'm already at 88 hours,
Yeah, I have
or
so
something
much to
like
go
that.
through.
And so it's kind of frustrating that they're doing that because I feel like it's not even enough space. And so unfortunately, you guys will be seeing it live on Twitch, but it won't be on Twitch forever. It will be found on Spotify or YouTube now because of the way switches. So old episodes are going to get wiped away from my Twitch so that we can make room for the new stuff. And then the old episodes you'll still find on YouTube for visuals. So if you wanted to go and follow us from the beginning, go ahead and do it on YouTube. If you don't want the visual aspect and you want it shortened, then you can go on Spotify. You don't need to catch up with our episodes because all of our episodes are unique and different every single week. And we haven't had a 2-part episode yet. So, it's always new. So it doesn't matter where you start. If you just select a topic that you like and just listen to that topic, that's fine. So please go look at our library on Spotify and see all the topics we've already covered. And YouTube.
I pinned it.
And we also have our Instagram already set up right over there. I'm going to try and post more reels. I'm really struggling to clip videos from the podcast, so we would have reels to post. So that's a smidge on the annoying side, but we're working on it. So we've got the Sassiesquatch right over here joining us. We are covering
That's
some,
me.
yeah. Let me go ahead and give him a shout out. For those of you guys that don't know who the Sassiesquatch is, I've known him for God knows how long. Can you type followage for me, baby?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think John and I met like near the beginning of my streaming career. I don't know if it's like, it might be a little like maybe my first year was already up when John and I found each other.
Oh my god. My brain stopped learning how to spell. Stop knowing how to learn it. Fuck.
It's okay. No rush. So yeah.
I can't spell follow. Oh, my brain.
Follow. Oh, followage, Sassiesquatch. There we go. You've been following me for 3 years, 10 months. Oh, so you were like, yeah, because I'm going in my 4-year anniversary in June. So you've been following me for almost my entire career, like on Twitch. So we have been friends for quite some time now. And I was a part of your podcast, which is the Cryptid Book Club, if you wanted to talk about that. But yeah.
Yeah. I roped 3 gullible fools into doing a podcast with me about books.
So they read books and they talk about them.
Yeah. Well, basically, the reason why I wanted to do it is that I got into reading books later on in life, and I missed out on having the phenomenon of like book clubs, like being able to talk with your peers about the books you're reading and all that. I never had that, and I don't have an analytical mindset when it comes to books. I just read books as like entertainment, as you would TV or anything, and it just gone.
Mhm.
And I wanted to get into that mindset, like trying to like create that in myself to be able to do that. And I just asked 3 people that I thought would has that mindset or be able to help me with that to do so. So we basically read a book a month, come together, and we talk about it, and we kind of go about like we're reviewing a movie or TV show. We go through all the plot of the book, and we just chime in about how we feel about what's happening in the story as we go along. And it ends up sometimes we think, oh, this book is short, it's going to be an hour podcast. Ends up like 3 hours because we're just verbose motherfuckers. We have feelings about everything. But yeah, it's amazing. We've done some great books, like the Iron Widow series. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So I was a part of the
Yeah.
Cryptid Book Club. I unfortunately chose a book that was based on my favorite Filipino cryptid. It was a terrible book, and we talked about it, but it was still fun. I had fun doing it just because I liked being in there. It's a different vibe, and so it's nice. Miso, Kortra needs you to say something.
Hello.
Oh, their chest. I
Sorry,
asked them.
Kortra.
Yeah, I asked them for volume levels so I can adjust you guys accordingly if someone's too loud or too quiet, you know?
Oh, yes, that's always very helpful.
Yeah, audio's perfect. Okay, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was just listening to the podcast and there was like the last episode, I noticed that my mic was so much quieter than the guest's mic. So like when I was in the car, I had to turn up the volume to hear my topic, and then it went to the next topic and I'm like, so I'm like, I need to fix the audio next time and make sure.
Yeah, because I wear the inner earbuds, so I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. All right, let me turn her up
Miso
just a
could use a
smidge.
slight audio uptick.
Okay, let me just fix her real quickly. Hopefully that's a little better. Let's try this again.
Hello, Kortra. Is that a little better? Is it better, Kortra?
I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
It's kind of hard, like with streaming and audio, it's so hard because like you can't like listen to your own without an echo. It's just like you have to go through the process, like I have to go somewhere. Hello. Hi, Hovering. Nice to see you.
I can't like podcast or talk on mic if I can hear myself. I go into a weird warp, like I start talking slower than I normally do. Like it's crazy. But when people ask me to do mic checks, I do what Miso just did. I sing instead of talking.
That's fair.
I go into a sing-song voice for no reason, and it's not what they want, but it's all my brain does.
Oh, I wore my really, really cool shirt in honor of the Sassiesquatch being the champion of of hide and seek. So I wore my world champ hide and seek
Love it.
undefeated shirt for this Floof. And we also got our little flip pins. I've got my Yeti Floof pin over here.
I got my little
I,
baby squatch.
makes me so happy.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about some Celtic mythology. I will be starting with Selkies. John, what are you talking about today?
I am talking about Lord Banshee
And Meso.
a few other cryptids.
Oh yes, they have extras for us, you guys. Surprise extras. And then Meso,
I'm talking about the Clerichaun.
which I have never heard of, by the way.
I hadn't either.
Guess what,
It
you
just
guys?
sounds like
Guess
it's
who
a
didn't
true
pull up
leprechaun.
her notepad for her notes?
You goober.
A busy goose.
Sorry.
Yeah, very busy goose.
My bad.
Don't be
my
sorry.
bad. My bad, you guys. My bad. I'm fixing it. I'm
Cleric
No
fixing it.
sound really
sorries
does-
here.
No
Clerichaun
sorries
really
allowed.
does sound like a Windex like brand that's just with a leprechaun on it. Clerichaun.
All
I
right.
don't like that.
Make your glass.
We'll chit chat some more during the
Spotless.
Ghoulish
I don't-
Bites. Let's get into business. I'm sure there's people on Spotify that are like, "Can we get to the topic?" So let's get to the topic, I guess. So
Yeah.
today I am talking about Selkies, which is not a very familiar story from a lot of people. And so I want to dip my toes in more Celtic mythology because I enjoyed it last time. Actually, around this time last year is when we covered another Celtic episode, and we covered the fairy rings. We covered what else did we cover that time, my dear? It was another. You covered the oh no,
No, that was Halloween.
no, you covered the fairy dog. Was it you that covered the fairy dog, or was that no?
No.
Kate covered the fairy dog, and then you covered. Oh my god!
My brain is straight, just not
I don't
working.
remember, but yeah, we had a
There's been so
Celtic
many
episode.
topics.
Yeah, last year we had the Celtic episode, and we covered some of the topics. So we continue on today, and we're going to be talking about Selkies. So more Celtic mythology, but my particular topic falls into Celtic and Norse mythology, basically. And so it's not a very popular topic. It's not a very common one that people know about. And the only reason I even knew about it is because I was obsessed with like watching a specific type of movie before. I was obsessed with mermaids, and so I did a lot of research on like movies that have mermaids and stuff like that. And then after I finished all of them, it led me to this beautiful movie about I don't know if you guys have ever seen Whale Rider, where it's about this little
No, I've
girl
never.
who's supposed to be the chief's daughter, and she's supposed to take over her tribe, but she doesn't feel like she fits in, and then a bunch of whales get beached, and so they have to have the whale rider lead them back into the water instead of them dying, and she becomes the whale rider. So it's this beautiful story, and I loved watching it. It was like it's a beautiful story. It's not like cinematic or crazy or anything like that. It's story driven, very quiet, very calm movie. And after I watched that, there was something that was suggested to me, and I watched it, and that's how I actually learned about Selkies. So I went from mermaids to whale rider to Selkies. That's how I got to this path. So I don't know how anyone else got to this path, but that is the
it seems
history.
like a logical thing. Also, my topics were the Celtic bovine.
Yes, the two of them.
Yeah, Don Cooley. I still can't pronounce it. You guys know
The
I can't
Milky
pronounce his name,
Way,
can't pronounce it
baby.
now. Yep, and the glass gibbon. But I say the Milky Way. That's
The Milky
I prefer that
Way.
anyway.
The teat of the Milky Way.
I say my brain was hurting. I had to. Okay, sorry. It's hurting.
What was the second, Cal? Because you might have named one of my things.
Oh
no shit.
yeah,
Okay, hold on.
she covered two of the bulls from the Celtic bovines.
bulls.
Yeah, she covered Celtic bovines.
Yeah.
One of them was
Was one of them
something
green?
Gaius, something geese or something like that. I can't
Don
remember.
Cooling
One of them.
and glass gibbon.
The glass gibbon, which is the
Yeah.
Milky Way boob
Mhm.
thing. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember because Milky Way
Yeah,
boobies.
You covered it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For last year's Celtic episode, so John's like, that was one of the ones I was
That's
going to
right.
talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it's not your main one. Hi, Ronnie Mama.
I wanted to spring it on Daku because it's a green cow that just is
They made the Milky Way.
yeah.
Hi,
Like,
Roddy Mama.
amazing.
Thank you for those biddies. By the way, Roddy
Such a great
Mama
one.
is one of the few people with the Thick and Spooky Ghouls pins. She ordered some from us, so she has her own set of Thick
Amazing.
and Spooky Ghouls pins, which I'm so excited for.
Ooh.
So there's a difference between Selkies and Kelpies. Just a reminder, people might think Kelpies, but no, they're completely different things. I'm covering Selkies. I almost covered Kelpies. I'm like, but this is not the topic I wanted. I wanted the seal shapeshifters, and I remembered them as Selkies, and I looked it up. I'm like, there it is. So the origins of the Selkie is actually so what exactly is a Selkie? Let me start with that. Sorry, you guys. I feel like I'm struggling here. All right. So what exactly is
Amazing.
a Selkie? You're so sweet, baby. So a Selkie is a shapeshifter, and it's a seal that can transform into a human. And a lot of the stories talk about the female Selkies. There's some stories about the male Selkies, but a lot of the topics and a lot of the stories are usually based on the female Selkie. And so for a Selkie to turn human, they would have to shed their skin, and underneath their skin is their human form. And so the thing with them is they cannot go back into their seal form without putting back their pelts.
Oh,
So
ew.
yeah, so
The little flesh jackets, huh?
it's kind of like when I
Yeah.
mentioned the Manananggal, where they hide their legs before they
Oh,
separate from their torso.
mhm.
It's kind of like that, but less brutal.
It's like they have a flesh suit. It's just unsettling.
And they don't
Imagine
die
finding that
from
on the beach.
they can survive an entire lifetime without getting back in their skins, but they'll live
Aw.
a very unhappy existence, and I'll explain more about that. So
Mhm.
anyways, Selkies are surprisingly pretty are actually mentioned in quite a few of the mythology. It's mentioned in Celtic mythology, Norse mythology, Icelandic mythology, and even Inuit mythology. And and the story of the Selkie or Selkie folk was actually passed as an oral tradition. And the roots of the story actually starts from the Northern Isles of Scotland. And Selkies are actual common knowledge there. And a lot of fishermen talk about them because they have to do with the ocean, right? And
Right.
there's a lot of stories about fishermen and Selkies. And so yeah, they're like the closer you are to that area, the more you'll hear about them. But if you're not in that area, it's not likely that you would hear about Selkies. And so with Selkies, while they're actually in their human forms, they're often described to be extremely attractive and seductive. Very
Oh
much like
boy.
a fae kind of thing, you know? And a Selkie person, they are called Selkie folk sometimes from the regions that they're more commonly known. They're called Selkie folk. So because there's multiple of them, it's a whole family of hello HK. Welcome in. We're
Hello.
glad to have you, HK.
Hello.
And so they are usually described to have dark brown or rusty red hair. And they have extremely fair skin, and they can have either black eyes, blue eyes, or green eyes. But it doesn't seem like they ever have brown eyes. It's either black, blue, or green. And they're known to move with a lot of grace, and they have extremely soft features. So instead of like having like intense features, their features are very muted and very soft. So no strong noses, no strong jaws. So very, very, very soft feature.
Right.
And there's a lot of stories that primarily focus on the Selkie women, and we'll get to one of those stories.
Oh jeez.
The origins of the Selkies. Oh, what were you saying, baby?
You
Oh,
just described the person from Galway.
The what?
You just described the person from the city Galway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just red hair,
Maybe they're a Selkie.
blue eyes,
You don't
soft
know.
features,
Dun, dun.
just all gorgeous as all get out. That's basically every person in Galway.
And like I said, there are Selkie males, but most of the stories that you hear are Selkie women. But there are some that are Selkie males, and I'll tell you guys a story of one of the more popular ones. Then that's a story that I learned. And the origins of the Selkies being able to turn to human is actually based on the storyteller or what region it's from, because sometimes they say that they can only shed their skin and turn human every 7 years. So once every 7 years they can come and shed their skin and become human for a time and then go back to the ocean. But some say that they probably can have the ability to change into a human during the full moon. So those are like the two things. It's either once every 7 years is one of the stories, and another story says during every full moon they can choose to shed their skin and be human.
I find it very interesting that that's like such a random connector to like lichens and werewolves and things. Like, I wonder why that was so common.
Actually, in D&D, Selkies are mentioned in D&D, but they're in the shapeshifters category, and in D&D they're considered seals or seals, I think. Yeah, I think it's seals,
Interesting.
like werewolf, but it's seals. So they do exist in the world of D&D, of course.
Interesting.
And due to the fact that Selkies can turn human, you might be surprised to, or maybe not surprised, but they can actually form romantic and sexual relationships with
Oh, boy.
humans and even bear their children. But it is said that Selkies have a dual nature within them. They can be friendly and helpful to humans, but they can also be very vengeful and dangerous. There's one that could be willing to help you and all that stuff, but then there's also a version of them that will drown you in the water.
Right, yeah.
Depends on which needle you land on, I guess. But despite them being pretty compatible with humans, the unions of Selkies to humans are actually usually known, even in stories, to be very sad unions. So if you see a Selkie, you can fall in love with it and have children with it, but their essence, first and foremost, belongs to the ocean, and they feel like they have to be in the ocean. So one of the dangerous things about Selkies is, like I said, they have to be able to put back their own pelts to be able to turn back into a seal. And there's been, hey, Mango, welcome in. Hi, Oceans. How's it going? Thank you for that lurk, my beautiful Bentley. I love you, my beautiful waifu. Bentley's rejoining us for an episode this year, so I've already discussed with her, and she said yes. So
Hey.
we got another episode. We're gonna have another thick
and we're
episode.
getting another one with
Oh, we're getting all the thick babies back.
Brit.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to have them back. The
so
waifus. Yeah. That's why you buy a boat. So anyways, a common story that is usually depicted for Selkies is a lot of men will steal their pelts so they can't turn back into a seal. And a lot of them use this as a way to get what they want. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the story that I first learned about Selkies. And this is called the Selkie Bride. So there are a lot of stories about them, but this is one of the more popular stories about them. So this story talks about a lonely fisherman who works all the time but was very, very lonely. And one night he heard some singing in the beach. Beautiful chorus, beautiful singing. And so he decided to follow the voices because he's like, are they having a party? Can I join in? You know? So he goes and follows the music. And the music or the voices, like he listens to it and it leads him to shore. And when he gets to the shore, there's a group of humans singing together, and he's just watching them in wonder. And he ends up getting noticed by the Selkies. And when they notice him, they immediately dove into their pelts and ran away. So the fisherman couldn't believe that he actually saw Selkies. He's heard stories of Selkie folk before, but he had never experienced or even seen a Selkie before. And so he was kind of like, oh my God, I finally see it, but I have no proof. So he ended up seeing a pelt right next to him, and he ended up grabbing that pelt so that he can keep it as evidence that he was able to encounter a Selkie. So the fisherman couldn't believe that he managed to get a hold of one of them. And while he was about to walk away with this seal coat that he found, a beautiful woman approaches him and looks at him longingly and asks if he could please return her seal skin. When he saw her, he saw that she was a beautiful maiden, and he immediately fell in love with her.
Oh, jeez.
So he
Selkies.
held on to her sealskin and begged her to stay on the land with him. He promised her that he would take care of her. He promised her that she would never want or need for anything, that he could give her a full life. He also said that now that he has her sealskin, she can't go back to the water anyways, so
God.
she should come and stay with him. So she asked again, please give me back my coat. And she said, I will never truly be happy on land. He begged again and pleaded with the woman. And he basically told her, I have a warm home. I will take care of you. And the Selkie woman, feeling completely helpless, decided she would go with this man and she will find some way to retrieve her skin so she can go back to the water. So she figured, I'll go with this person. At some point, he's not going to be paying attention. I'll grab my skin and take off and go back home. So for weeks, he took the sealskin everywhere he went. So when he would leave the house, he would literally carry the sealskin with him. When he would go fishing, he would carry the sealskin with him. So she would stay on land in his house, but then he would bring her coat wherever he would go, just because he was so scared that she would run away.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So
It's not
for
healthy.
weeks he did this.
Not healthy at all.
No, it is not. Like I said, the union of Selkies to humans and the stories you hear about this union is always a sad tale, because it is like part of them is human and does like fall in love with humans, but their longing to be in the ocean is so much stronger than that. So they're split in half between, loving someone and being where they belong. So,
Yeah.
for weeks he
This
took the
story-
seals. Yeah.
This story just seems like
I don't know if she's in love, but
love of first kidnapping instead of love of first sight.
It's funny because I had to find the story because I knew the story, but I had to find it so I can tell the story properly. And while rereading it, it reminded me of the story that Mojo suggested a long time ago about the Axeman and the person that was supposed to go in the sky and they had to plant the beanstalk to grow. Remember that story that I read for it was one of our topics, and during the Ghoulish Bites segment, she had me read a short story about this, and it kind of gave me that the imprisonment or forcing someone to not be where they belong, etc.
yeah.
And so for several weeks, he took the sealskin everywhere he went, and he was afraid that she would leave him. After a month, the Selkie woman seemed to have settled in his home, so he finally decided that he could start hiding the sealskin somewhere in his home. Even though the man was a stubborn man, he was very generous and kind. This Selkie and then the Selkie woman and him eventually fell in love. They got married and even managed to have 7 children. Despite their seemingly happy and full life, the children often saw their mother on the beach with a look of sadness and longing in her face. Her eldest son would ask why she seemed so unhappy, and the Selkie woman once mentioned that said that he caught her in the during this time her eldest son asked why she seemed so unhappy, and the Selkie woman said he caught her in the midst of dreaming again and kissed her son's forehead. So she's like a mother to them. It's been several years. So one day the father decided to go fishing, and he wanted to bring 3 of the eldest children with him so that they could so 3 of his eldest children went to the water with him to go fishing, and then he sent the other 3 to go to the market to grab bread, milk, and whatever they need at the house from the market, and then he left the youngest with the mom. So she looked out the window towards the rocky shore while she was taking care of her youngest kid, and she noticed a band of seals, and she started to cry. Her youngest looked at her with concern, and he sweetly asked, "Mother, why do you always seem so sad and cry when you look at the sea?" She looked at her youngest and told him, "I'm sad because I was born in the sea. It is my home, and I will never be able to return because your father took my coat."
I was about to say, I'm sorry, but she's like, "Oh, nothing, honey. Dad just kidnapped me from my family. It's fine. Don't worry about it, champ.
So
Mama just got kidnapped. It's fine."
So the boy who grew up in the village with all the other village kids actually have heard many stories about the Selkie folk.
Yeah.
And after hearing his mom say something like that, he knew all of a sudden that seal shifters can turn human and can shed its seal skin and then come back to a seal by putting on the skin. So he looked at his mom, who was sad, and so he ran towards the fireplace and reached in a compartment, a secret hidden compartment, and carried a seal skin to his mother. The mother was surprised and asked him how he found it. He mentioned that father would sometimes take it out of its hiding place and stare at it, and mentioned it to me once before that it was a very, very special item. Her son knew, after hearing that his mother came from the ocean, her son knew then that his mother was a Selkie. And so her son now understood why this coat was so special. And so the crying mother embraced her son and whispered, "My darling, I will always love you." The Selkie mother ran outside to the shore and slipped on her sealskin and dove into the ocean and swam towards the band of seals she had seen earlier. Not long after that, the father came home from fishing with the children and noticed the band of seals, and even noticed one knowingly staring at him and following his every movement, as well as his children's movements. His youngest son met him and told him what he had done. The father's heart broke, but understood that they had raised such a loving young man who was much braver than his father. Their father and his children missed their mother so much, but understood that she was finally happy and where she belonged. They would often get a visit on the shore by a specific seal who would stare at them with such knowing eyes, and their father was always blessed with a large catch every time he went fishing. So that's one of the stories. So basically, the father ends up crying because he realized that his son was a better man than him, because his son was able to let his mom go. And so he was both happy and sad to realize that. So the story of the Selkie Bride, that's the rendition that I know of, but there's several similar stories to this. And some of them end way worse than this. This is like the best ending of the Selkie stories.
Oh, God.
But there's a story where the woman, once she managed to get her coat, turned her children to stone and swam into the ocean. And leaving the man...
I'm just gonna burn this bridge.
Yeah, leaving the man heartbroken, without a family and alone. And then some stories have the mother take the children to the ocean with her to become a part of the Selkie folk. And so there's stories of
the one I know.
The one where they go back to the ocean? Yeah.
Yeah, and the father goes one last time out into the ocean, and seals capsize his ship and kill him.
Amazing. Wow, yeah, I love
that. I like that one way more.
Especially with the context of that last story.
Yeah. And so because of that story, I'm sure you guys are kind of curious about Selkie children, right? Well, unfortunately, it was really
like hard. Or something.
Yeah, so
did it have fins?
Okay, so So unfortunately, it was really hard for me to actually find information to what actually happens to Selkie children, because in a lot of stories they can choose to live amongst other Selkies in the ocean, or they can choose to remain human, but they will have the constant affinity for water. So usually they're humans that spend a lot of time in the ocean, whether it be that their hobby is going boating or surfing or fishing. Anything that brings them to the water, any activity that brings them to the water, is going to always be a part of a Selkie child. So even though they're human, they have a lot of activities and hobbies that are related to the water. Some of them, like, what?
I knew there was something weird about professional swimmers. Fucking knew it.
Some say that a way to spot a Selkie child is sometimes they will have little tiny excess of skin that makes them look like they have webbed hands or webbed feet. So sometimes they'll be more like they'll have webbed hands or webbed feet, and that's usually a sign that they're a hybrid. And they actually end up in careers that are relating to oceans if they chose to be human. So that's what happens to Selkie children. Sorry, that story had me crying. I'm so sorry, guys. Whew. All right.
Don't apologize.
During hard times, the Scottish people used to hunt seals for their skin and blubber, but they believe that to hunt a seal is to welcome bad fortune upon yourself. So that's like one of the superstitions relating to them. And that's because the people that truly believe that are people that believe in the Selkie folk and feel like you are murdering a Selkie person, which gives you bad fortune
Right.
because you're murdering one of the Selkie folk. And then, as I said, it's not a very common thing for people to hear about Selkies. John actually heard about it, so I'm pretty. But John's from, so I'm
Yeah.
not surprised, but I'm also surprised. But
A little less shocking there. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Selkie folk, like you said in Galway, like Selkie folk is a big folklore there because it's by the ocean, and that's where like people are amazed that from people from Galway, if they have brown eyes, they know that they're not a Selkie folk.
Oh yeah, because
It,
then of
it's
them have brown eyes.
brown eyes,
Mhm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's there's kind of like lore there. Like if you have blue
There's some
ocean blue eyes, that
like,
people are like you're Selkie
and
and stuff like
people,
that. Like,
some stories say that the reason we have people that are redheads is because a Selkie person ended up joining with a human and introduced the humans with red hair as like
My God.
as a part of like a gift for them. So that's one of the things with Selkies is they're the reason red hair exists in the world is because it's from them.
Amazing. I
Yeah.
wish I had red hair.
As I said earlier, people haven't really heard of Selkies, but there are several movies that are inspired by Selkies. There's movies such as Ondine and The Secret of Roan Inish. So if you guys wanted to, is it Inish or Inish? I think it's Inish, right? Roan Inish. One of those two. And John,
Mhm.
is it Secret of Roan Inish or Roan Inish?
Ron Inish sounds more correct,
Okay.
but it could be Ron Inish because I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's about a Selkie girl. But yeah, Ondine, I believe, is one of the first Selkie films that I watch, and it kind of like in my desire to watch mermaids. Sometimes if I don't want to watch any of the mermaid things that I have, I'll be like, I'll watch a Selkie one instead. And
Can you spell it for me so I can actually see it written down?
Roan and then Inish. So The Secret of Roan Inish or Inish.
Inish. It's definitely Inish.
Inish.
The way
Okay.
it's spelled. Yeah, Inish. Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying here.
You're
All
doing
right.
great.
You're doing amazing. Some Irish words aren't pronounced how they're spelled. Some Irish words are,
Yes.
and it's a flip of the coin of which is which.
Yeah, we
So-
yeah. And then so there's movies about them, and then like I said, they can also be found in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, and they're categorized as lycanthrope war seals. So that's
They're so
what I got for our Selkies. I told you it's my short topic.
Yay.
I'm sorry, guys. It was so short,
That's
but I
not-
wanted to
it's-
talk about it.
The weird thing
It's
about
not
Irish
short.
folklore and like Celtic folklore in general is that it's like can be widespread, but the information about it is just very
Yeah,
minuscule.
I did find few that were like that for sure.
Yeah.
Like because
But
it's
sure, it's
all
like 10
word of-
minutes, 15 minutes, you know.
Like
Yeah, 'cause
it's
it's all
oral
word of mouth.
tradition. It's oral
Yeah.
tradition. It's
Yeah.
what it is. Kind of like the
So
Manananggal is oral tradition as well. And that's why when I did research on it, I'm like, that's not what I learned. I don't think that that's right. But that's because I was told
Yeah.
a different version of the story.
Yeah, and by the time like the printing press or like anything like that came around, Ireland was colonized by Christians at the time, and more pagan religions were being pushed out, and like
Yeah.
the
Yep.
scrolls and stuff were being destroyed. So stories of the Selkie folk
The
and like
snakes.
the snakes and the fair folk in
Mhm.
general have just been kind of like pushed to the wayside to folklore and oral traditions, which is very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see that happen in a lot of places.
So you
Yeah,
guys
which is
got to
such
learn
a
about
shame.
Selkies.
Yeah,
Is
that's
there
pretty
any
cool though.
information that I missed, John, that you might have more information on? Like, I don't know your knowledge on Selkies, but if there's anything that I missed, let
No,
me know.
you hit everything like that you hit everything about the Selkie folk. It's just the more stories that I hear are more the kind of like
The darker ones, right?
darker ones. Yeah, the more like visceral, like the person takes their skin, the Selkie is indentured to them and bears
Yeah,
children, and
which is
then
so
get their skin
frustrating.
back and murders the shit out of that person.
Yep.
Fair enough though.
That is the story. Like, no matter where you are,
I guess I found the nice one. I am surprised that the first one I was exposed to was the nice story, but maybe that's what would have been like talked about more, is like the happier story rather than the dark story. They might have been like, I'm telling
yeah,
a story to this kid and I don't want to scare this kid, so I'm going to tell her the happy version of the story and not the other versions of the story.
yeah. Like with all folklore, like all stories that's passed down for generation, there's always one for like the children, the one you can tell them before bedtime and stuff, and then there's one you tell around the campfire, just to either like scare people or shock people or do whatever. And like the Selkie stories are mainly told to children, so they're like there's more like children friendly stories about the Selkies
Yeah,
than they
so
are.
I guess I found the children friendly one. Like I said, I discovered this like story of Selkies when I was like 12. So that's my first time hearing about them, was when I was like 11 or 12, and that's when I was going through my mermaid phase. I still have my mermaid phase every once in a while, but I'm a little, I'm a little shy about it sometimes, but yeah,
Mermaids are pretty
mermaids,
cool.
they really are.
Mermaids are
Oh,
amazing.
Sirens, mermaids. Say, you see your little doggy back? Yeah, but say, you see Roxy back there?
oh my god,
She's
Roxy. Hey, baby. I know your
she's making
blankets.
herself into a little sausage.
Well, she
little hot
normally,
dog
I
bun.
have her bed right next to me now, but because I washed her blanket, she doesn't have her blanket on her bed right now, so she
Yep.
is not.
No.
She's like, I'm going to the Squishmallows instead. All
Oh
right,
my god.
we're gonna go ahead and run a quick ad, and then after that, we'll get on to John's topic. So give us a quick little 3-minute break. Go get some water. Go use the bathroom, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes. So I'll see you guys soon. Love y'all. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, I will be right back. I'm gonna get some coffee.
Okay, babes.
There it is.
All right, you guys. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you hear me in Discord?
Yep.
Can you hear me on Twitch, you guys?
Yep.
Perfect. Sorry, you guys. I don't know what my USB for my headphones that I usually have my headphones plugged in, it just stopped working. Like I plugged in both
Oh,
my
that's so much
headphones and it
fun.
just wouldn't work. And I just switched to a different USB port and then it's working. So I feel like my middle USB port needs to get some look in to see what caused it to not work anymore. So sorry for that. I also forgot to show my pictures, you guys. I also forgot to show my pictures, and let me see if I can pull them up right now just to show you
Anytime, like
guys.
suppressant, no worries.
I guess I just all right, so let me go ahead and share what a Selkie, like a Selkie illustration is. So hold on. So this is a Selkie shedding its pelt. And there is actually a beautiful statue in Denmark, and this is the this is yeah, this is a Selkie in Denmark in Faroe Islands. So it's a beautiful, beautiful statue. So those are a couple of my pictures for the Selkies, so that anyone could see it. So, all right. I'm so sorry for the complications, you guys. Floofy boy, how you
Yeah.
doing?
I'm doing good.
John, after I do my topic, we can see if you haven't dropped for a while, we'll let you can obviously finish yours too. I would love that. Hopefully it'll be more stable by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, if you do that, I'm gonna go just reset my router or something because fucking I don't know why it's doing this.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on for now to Miso's topic while John does what John needs to do to
Sorry,
try and
John. Yeah,
connect.
but say, go
And
ahead,
like
do
I
whatever you
said,
want to
if we
try.
can't do it today, John, I will make some time with you this week where we can sit down, do a private recording together, sitting down, and I will be able to publish that portion and we can get a clearer, not choppy version of the Banshee. So, worst case scenario, we can figure this out. For now, we'll try and have Miso cover her topic. And then after that, we'll see if we can get John's comms to work. If John's comms don't work, then we'll just jump into Ghoulish Bites and see if John can join in on that. If not, then we'll just end up closing, and then I'll do a private recording with John directly. So it's not the end of the world. We'll make it work, you guys. We'll make it
Yep,
work.
sometimes technical issues are going to happen, and it does suck, though. I know it's frustrating, especially for John, because I know he really wanted to be a part of this. So hopefully it'll be a little smoother after my topic, and we can just hop right in. But like she said, shit happens. We'll figure it out, and we all appreciate y'all hanging out
I
through
think
it.
we both cursed it.
I shouldn't. I just thought it was catchy.
No, because I remember that you mentioned the luck of the Irish thing, but remember when I was just like, oh, it's nice to have another guest today since we had 2 months where
Yeah. Oh
the guest
no.
dropped out. I cursed us, you guys. I think both
No
of us
guest.
just threw too many things out there that they're just not working out. Damn it. Oh,
It's a
fuck.
nar.
I cursed us and Miso cursed us. I blame it on both of us on this. What the heck? We shouldn't have said what we said. We got too cocky. We got too cocky. We got too confident here. All right, Miso, my love. What are we talking about today?
So today I am talking about the Clerichaun. If you notice, it sounds a lot like leprechaun.
Or cleric from D&D, but that's not what we're talking
Also,
about.
yes,
Okay.
Clerichaun maybe even, but Clerichaun.
Oh, cleric work? Oh, God. All right.
Clerichaun. But I was thinking, since we had our little sassy Sasquatch on here, and he's Irish, and St. Patty's Day just passed, that we, I'd pick something also Irish, and everybody else was doing Irish. I was like, fuck it, Irish. So, Clerichaun. And I had never heard this one. I did what I do sometimes, but I don't have a specific thing in mind. I go looking, and I was looking through the Irish folklore, and I found the Clerichaun. And I was like, holy shit, never heard that before. And again, I was like, is that a leprechaun? What is that? But Clerichauns are described as like the drunken cousin of a leprechaun. The Clerichaun is a mischievous fairy in folklore, Irish folklore. And I'm not shocked to see, like I said before to Britt, I'm not shocked to see we're back to Fays again. Little fucking
Faye!
troublemakers.
Good old
Little troublemakers.
Faye. We love Faye
Always
here.
popping up. Always popping up.
We love the Faye
but
here.
we do. And they literally just somehow always end up popping up. But they're little troublemakers, I'll tell you that much. But the Clerichaun is known for its great love of drinking and having a tendency to haunt breweries, breweries, pubs and wine cellars. The Clerichaun is also sometimes portrayed as carrying a jug of ale, wearing a leather apron with a little hammer in his hand, and whistling as he works. I only have a few pictures because when I Googled it, it kept popping up with leprechaun stuff, so I had to make sure I found the right things. So, my dear, if you don't mind showing the ones I got.
Of course. We're starting with the black and white.
Yeah, this is a more classic, fairy tale, rendition of the Clerichaun.
They're kind of cute.
They're very, to me, I feel like they remind me of gnomes when I think about how they describe them. Very gnomish.
The whiskey.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
That's so cute. I love this one. The whiskey's a cute one.
Certainly he won't do anything terrifying.
He seems like someone I met like 2 weeks ago.
He looks great. And then we've got this guy. I love this illustration, by the way. This is probably my favorite of the fan art, is this one. Because
Little guy on a barrel, yeah.
I mean, it's so
He's
cute.
very seductive.
And look at his nose. He's got the red nose and the red cheeks.
He's hammered.
Oh my god.
Just hammered.
Okay, so, and then we've got I don't like this one. This one reminds me of the Leprechaun horror film that I'm still afraid of to this day. I haven't even bothered to rewatch it. I feel like I need to rewatch it, and I don't think I'll be scared of it anymore, but I was so scared of it. The concept of the leprechaun going for that girl's leg from underneath the car where it just scratches her legs permanently, like, I'm just like, I hate it. So I've been afraid of
Aniston.
Yeah, I've been afraid of leprechauns since that film. At least the Leprechaun film, not the leprechauns themselves. I like the leprechauns themselves, just not that particular leprechaun. Okay.
Yeah, that's what the Clerichaun pretty much looks like.
Oh no!
Again, it looked very similar.
No one saw that.
Don't look at her.
Don't look at her. That's John.
Avert your eyes.
Avert them. But yeah, as you see, he looks pretty similar to what you'd expect, like a leprechaun or like gnomish. Again, I think they're very gnomish. But they're portrayed carrying the jug of ale with the leather apron, their hammer. Sometimes they're kind of like the one you saw on top of the barrel, where it's just like he's kind of just going with the flow. He's got pants, no shoes, But some of them are described like some of the stories. They're just kind of raggedy and they don't give a shit. They just want to get drunk. They're just like, nah, it's fine. So no shoes, nothing. But in some of them, they look, normal, but hammered. Always hammered. But they also carry magical purses or pewters, which a pewter is a beggar's cup. But they carry a magical purse or a pewter, and these items have magical properties. They contain they sometimes contain a shilling, shilling is like a coin. Shilling known as a lucky shilling. It always returns to the purse no matter how often it is spent. Or this lucky purse or pewter will always be full of money. So no matter how much money you spend, it would regenerate essentially.
I kind of want to steal one from one really bad now. I mean, I know it'd probably be bad juju.
That's exactly what we're about to talk about. Because boy howdy, for this reason, mortals often try to capture the Clerichaun. But even if it is caught, it has the ability to vanish. If he can make his captor look away for even a second, it can vanish. And they frequently will carry two purses, one containing the real magic shilling or the infinite magic or the magic coins, and the other containing like a normal piece of copper. So if he's caught, he gives you the coin, the fake coin, and then makes you look away and then vanishes. And this is also a similarity between the Clerichaun and the leprechaun, with humans always trying to catch them. The leprechaun for their pot of gold and secrets, and the Clerichaun for the bag. And like the leprechaun can also be forced to reveal knowledge of hidden treasures. In such cases, oh, go ahead.
I there's another thing that I like to steal from the leprechauns.
What's that?
The marshmallow cereals. I like to steal the marshmallows.
They're Lucky Charms, yeah, absolutely.
I fucking hate you right now. Goddamn Americans.
That's my favorite thing
I steal that from them, but I pay for it. So is it stealing if I pay for the Lucky Charms? I'm just saying.
No, they stole from you because you overpaid for marshmallows and like
It's so good
grain
though. I love
I
it.
love, I
grain
I
cereals
love
that
Lucky
love
Charms.
Lucky
ruins your
Charms.
mouth.
Give
I
me
love
that
Lucky
terrible sugar
Charms.
cereal.
Right? Okay, I'm not alone on this.
Mm.
Continue on. Sorry, I was just like, people steal their
Now I'm
pot of
hungry.
gold or their purse, and I'm all like, we also steal their Lucky Charms.
You guys, they're always after me Lucky Charms, man.
What? Hey, why is my internet working now and not save me from
You
this
like that?
blasphemy?
You like that?
Did you reset your router?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably why.
So I think you'll be able to do your topic after this. So we're probably going to have you start from the
Fingers
beginning.
crossed.
And I'm just going to cut that entire segment off from the thing. They're
They are
magically
magically
delicious.
Ocean Man, I'm looking at you in disgust.
He-
Just so you know.
It's fine. He does it to us all the time. It's fine. It's no big deal. He does it to
Yeah,
all
he
of
can't
us.
really talk any shit.
Okay, so sorry. Continue from theft. I'm done trying to steal stuff from leprechauns and clericons.
No magic charms. Or lucky charms. Lucky, magic, yes. But one of its tricks is to create an illusion of multiple like treasure markers, so that when they're being forced to like reveal information, they can trick the person who's like trying to get the information out of them and confuse them by like, we don't know which location it actually is because there's multiple. The Clerichaun is most often found in like Munster Ireland, Ireland's southern province. Mostly, they're mostly found in, like I said before, in like wine cellars and pubs and things like that. And if you leave your drink storage unlocked and unattended, you'd soon find that all your booze would be gone, as the Clerichaun would seize the opportunity to drink it all down. They love booze. Hi, Dak!
Or, someone that works there decided to drink it all and is like, oh no, I'm in trouble.
Oh,
I'm
it's a
gonna.
Clerichaun!
It was the Clerichaun. It was
It
not
was a
me.
Clerichaun. It wasn't me.
Not
That's
me.
crazy.
No, it's the town drunkard that's like 4'5" or like 3'2"
It's
got
me.
in there and they're like, it's the fucking Clericons again, and he's just wandering in and
I
fell
love you,
into the
Dak.
river or something. Goddamn.
So I found this little list of do's and don'ts when it comes to encountering a Clerichaun. The first do: double check whether or not you're dealing with a Clerichaun or a leprechaun. Leprechauns are said to be insulted if accused of being one of their drunk cousins. They pride themselves in hard work and they are not drunkards. But you can easily tell a Clerichaun from a leprechaun by the Clerichaun's fashion and attitude. The Clerichauns favor red and plum colors over the earth tones preferred by the leprechauns. They also tend to have way more like facial hair. Leprechauns tend to be clean shaven, and Clerichauns have big bushy beards and mustaches. That's the first do. The first don't. Don't take your eyes off him. This is another reason they are confused with leprechauns. Like we talked kind of before, they share a trait where they can both disappear if you even take your eyes off them for a second. The difference is that the leprechaun will simply vanish, and the Clerichaun will vanish and take all your booze with them.
Oh,
So don't take your eyes off them. Okay?
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Don't do it. No.
That is the worst thing for an Irishman to have
Oh,
happen.
hi, kitty cat. Stop it. Sorry, my cat is pawing at me because she's just so desperate for love.
No.
Life as a cat is so hard.
Yeah.
Laying on the couch, sleeping all day, getting pets. So, that was the first don't and do. The second do: listen to his stories. Clerichauns are quite the wordsmiths. They love to share a drink with a friendly ear and exchange stories for them. So just sit and talk your ear off while you drink. I think that's pretty chill compared to, like, I don't know, fist fighting a tiny, angry, magical being, you know?
Yeah.
The second don't. Don't anger the Clerichaun. They are small but fierce. And I get that. I get the small but fierce.
Yeah. Rawr.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I say Daku gets it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Small but fierce.
So scary.
Miso has learned this podcast that she is a Clericon.
That's right. Is there one for weed? Is there a Clerichaun that
I would be in
really
that
likes to be
category.
baked? Did I say? Because we might
That
have a
that
couple on the podcast.
that's just a leprechaun. They're smoking their pipes and being all fucking wishy washy.
Um,
What do you think
but
a 4-leaf clover is?
you know what? That's right. It's never been a clover. It's a pot leaf.
Yeah. Look, the back in the day, the Irish couldn't count higher than 4, so we just stopped. Right? Just left it at 4, and that was fine.
They're like, we're not very good at painting.
we get 7. We get
make it
7
that.
leaves. We get 7 leaves here.
That's all right.
Oh, some people
So-
are educated, man.
7 leaves. It's 7 leaves, not any less or more.
Hey, just because we can't count, but we make delicious cereals. So there's like a give and take
That's
there, you know.
Delicious diabetic cereals. I appreciate it.
I love Lucky Charms. I'm probably gonna eat a bowl after this. I'm not gonna lie, you guys.
I wish I had some. I'm so insanely fat I
Blasphemy.
don't. But so don't anger them. Tiny but fierce. Their cheery attitude makes them slow to anger. Like I said, they'll chit chat with you and drink, but once they're angry, they become vindictive, causing them to do things like, we have some things that they'll do if you piss them off. Are you ready for this hilarious, weird list of things they'll do if you piss them off?
Hilarious, you say? All right, let's see what
Absolutely.
shenanigans we're gonna
All
get
right.
into.
1, they can turn your milk sour.
That's rude. Wait, there's a little lad. There's one of the Yule lads that do that, isn't there?
I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
It can stop your hens from laying eggs. Go ahead, John.
Most of the Fae folks over here, their bad moods is about turning your food rotten so you can't eat.
Well, famine was very real, right? So that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So that's that. There was a real punishment
Yeah.
for the small slight.
I would say because that would make a huge difference in your life if you, constantly suffered with famine.
Yeah.
They could cause your family household to come down with chicken pox.
Oh.
Or actually, to be fair, it said pox in general, so it could be other kinds of pox. There's different kinds of pox.
Yeah. Basically a death
Do
sentence.
immunizations work?
Mm.
Like, if you get the shot, will it work, or can they override the medical process of it all? It's a joke. Let's continue.
Their magical properties overwhelm the vaccine. There's no way.
No
It's
way.
magic.
It's magic. Fuck. All right, no vaccinations apparently for them will
No,
work.
I believe that all Fae folk believe in vaccines, so
I was
they're
about
like,
to say,
that's fine.
vaccinate your children.
Do you think they'll
vaccinate your children.
respect it? They're all like, okay, I know that I can override this with magic, but because they did it, I'll respect it. Do you think that comes across their mind? I'm just curious.
Yeah, because they have other ways to do
They're
it. They're
fair.
like, you got me there, but no eggs for you. No eggs for you.
Sour milk.
So sour milk. Does that mean the milk that comes from your cow turns sour too, or is it milk that's been in their
Yes.
fridge?
I think it implies right out the teat.
Well,
Yeah,
with
any milk that person would produce or try to pour would instantly turn sour.
Be sour. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because the rings episode, the fairy rings episode that we talked about, they were known as Satan's circles, right? And one of the beliefs that if the horse ran into the circle, the fairy ring, it would cause that horse to forever, or that cow to forever produce sour milk.
Sour milk. Again,
Interesting.
times of famine, it was very important to be able to have access to things like milk and butter and eggs and things like that. Or those are staples to make bread and like a lot of meals. So you don't have that. That it makes sense, Oh, sorry. Your
Woo-woo,
little
choo-choo.
fill of
Chugga-chugga.
podcast train noises. Let me go ahead.
Excuse me.
If Sheldon Cooper was a real person, they would love listening to our podcast because they'll hear the trains every now and then and be like, I hear the train.
Oh, if anyone has like a hyperfixation that is trains, can you tell us what type of train is passing Meso's house every
Dude.
time just by the
They're always
noise
different,
of
too.
whistle?
The whistles are always, we have
Based
some
on the way
wild
it
whistles sometimes.
sounds, can you tell us what kind of train it is?
Yeah,
I swear I
just-
told you they know what I'm streaming.
I would just love if someone was like, yeah, that's a B something whatever, like just having a catalog of the trains.
That'd be funny. But
So
thank you for the train noises.
we have
It would not be a podcast episode without
without
them.
it. Yep. They gotta make
Thomas the
themselves known every
Rude
fucking
Engine.
time. Yeah, that's right.
That's what we call them.
So if you piss off a Clerichaun, they're gonna turn your milk sour, stop your hens from laying eggs, cause your family to fall down with pox. Don't know what kind of pox, just said pox. They make your cattle fall ill, make your sheep break out of their pens and run off. And sometimes, if you really piss them off, they beat you so badly you're bedridden for weeks.
That's not funny. Everything was funny and kind of okay until that point. I'm just like,
dun dun.
That escalated quickly.
I love the way it's like, we will make you starve. We will we'll
beat the shit out of you.
We'll make you starve. We will give you pox, so that will kill you. We will we'll make your animals fall ill, and we just let your sheep loose.
We're gonna
just
beat your ass.
Yeah, just let your sheep loose. Like, come into a nice little, like, tricksy sheep loose. Oh, you have to spend a day getting them back, and then we'll beat you to an inch of your life. I just love the way it's like they go real serious.
They're petty.
And meh, and then
petty.
Different level of petty.
Holy
Different
shit.
levels, man.
I mean, they're like, I'll turn your milk sour, I'll take away your eggs, or I'll beat you. Okay. Wow. Escalation process.
Right. 0 to
Oh my
100.
Oh my god, it's the Family Guy I meme where Stewie beats Brian up for
Oh, the money.
owing the money.
Yeah.
Where's my money? Huh? Where's my money?
So
the orange juice.
That was the second don't. We have a third do now.
Oh, third do. Do this.
Yep.
Do.
I think these are the last. Yep.
Do
3
this.
is the last. So third do.
Third do.
Third do. Third do. Leave out food for them. After drinking, like all of us, after they drink all your alcohol, the Clerichaun likes to have a little snacky snack. So leave out something tasty for them. They might even do something nice for you, such as leaving money or bringing your house good fortune. Feed the drunkard, get good luck or money. Why not? Listen to him talk. Let him drink all your booze, I guess. Put you out of business.
Wait.
All that stuff.
Wait. Are they like duende? Because remember when I covered the duendes and you would leave food and offerings for them to bless you, and there's different colored duendes, and there's a green one, and the green one is the one that's friendly towards children.
Yeah.
And they are fake.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Different phase in different places.
Oh baby.
Most Irish fays the lore to them for them to not come into your house or fuck with you is that you leave some bread and milk in a saucer.
Fairy bread,
outside.
right?
Yeah. Outside your window or your door at night. So to offer them some peace, and they'll protect your house and they'll show you goodwill.
So yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that that's a very similar thing with the Fae, and the fact that duendes. I'm just. There's so many things that are aligning in our topics that are from topics from last year. So let's.
And they're from. It's crazy how it goes from different parts of the world too. So.
Yeah, different parts of the world like that. The lores. It's hard that the lores like grew with each other with the same kind of tropes.
Because Selkies is in a bunch of like Inuit, Icelandic, Celtic, and Norse. They're all in it. So like, there's a point where they kind of.
I think that's really cool.
Collect and blend into each other.
But so that was the third do, third and last do. The third don't. Don't. Do not try to run away from them. Do not try to get rid of them. If you do try to get rid of them, it will have the opposite effect. Clerichauns tend to attach themselves to families like a demon, especially noble families, as they usually have the best wine cellars. And those
These
are the most
bitches are
basic do's and don'ts of the Clerichaun.
the Clerichauns are just the most basic bitch that just wants to hang around with people that don't like them, just to piss them off.
They just want to drink all the shit. Eat the rich, drink all their wine, drink all their booze.
But can you
So-
so you're saying Clericons are like aliens where they stick with a specific family, so if one person gets abducted
You can
from
move,
that family,
yep.
it's very common for future relatives to get abducted by aliens as well.
Yeah,
Clericons
like-
are all like, this is my family now. I'm stealing stuff from you guys all the time, and you can't get rid of me.
I was about to say,
Clericons,
if you could move, you could do anything and they'll still be there.
Clericons are like a self-perpetuating curse.
Oh,
If you fuck
absolutely.
with them, like, yeah.
So,
I'm
one
actually
of the
happy. I'm actually happy
Oh,
that
go
we
ahead.
got to this because I always assumed like this was traits of just leprechauns in general in
leprechauns on
certain
drugs,
areas. Yeah,
they're
just leprechauns in
shoemakers.
general. I'm so happy that now I know the differentiation of the two.
Might save your life one day.
Yeah,
Leprechauns are like that.
especially
Look,
they're
my
closer to
internet
your
already
home.
went. My
Yep.
internet already went wonky after I cursed them out earlier.
Let's not talk about it. Let's not notice it. Let's not talk about it. Oh no. Oh no.
Dun, dun. So, one of the Clerichaun's folktale origins is in a story called The Haunted Cellar, written by Thomas Crofton Crocker in
We get a story?
1825.
We get
Yes.
another story time. Okay, let's go. Story time.
So, in the story, a Clerichaun named Nuganin, if I'm saying that correctly, haunts a wine cellar of an Irish lord. He drinks everything in sight and plays pranks on the servants. He's described in the tale as a small man measuring just 6 inches tall with a face like a withered apple. He has twinkling eyes and a nose that is red and purple from heavy drinking. Wearing a red nightcap and short leather apron, light blue stockings, and shoes with large silver buckles. Buckles? I think you accidentally switched screens, Daku?
Oh, it's story time. I was moving us to story
Oh!
time space
I was just
because you were
making sure.
telling a story. So I'm
No, that
playing it
makes
in
sense.
story time space, and because Floof has a story time stream on their stream, so I'm like, I'm gonna pay
That's
homage
right.
to that. There, story time.
I do.
And then
Oh, I do. I haven't streamed in so long.
Yeah, you have a story time place, the library.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, in another
I
folktale
forgot.
called Master and Man, in 1895, a man named Billy McDaniel is on his way home on a winter night when he's offered a glass of liquor by a Clerichaun to warm himself. He takes a drink but refuses to pay the Clerichaun, causing him to be compelled to serve the Clerichaun for 7 years. Billy is, however, able to break his servitude by invoking the blessing of God. In this folklore, the Clerichaun is able to pass through keyholes. They can also transform bog bushes into horses to use as mounts, as well as being able to fly through the air on like drafts of air like birds do and witches or whatever else. And then in 1828, in a fairy mythology by Thomas Keatley, the Clerichaun named Little Wildbean is more of like a helpful Clerichaun, but also quick to become angry, like we talked about before. Some of them that can be nice or helpful, but are still quick to become angry and violent. So was Wildbean. He was helpful, but quick to become angry and violent when he was slighted. He haunted the wine cellar of a Quaker named Harris. And if one of the servants would leave beer barrels running, like the tap on the beer barrel, then Little Wildbean would shove himself inside the barrel to stop the flow of beer so it wouldn't be wasted. He'd stay plugged in the barrel until someone returned to turn it off. He was helping them not lose precious beer so they'd leave dinner in the cellar. But one night, the cook didn't leave him anything but part of a herring and some cold potatoes. So in retaliation, Wildbean dragged the cook out of bed, dragging her all the way down the cellar stairs and beating her, leaving her battered and bruised so badly she was bedridden for 3 weeks, like we talked about before. Like in other stories, Mr. Harris tried to flee and move, but turned back when he realized the Clerichaun had come with him. He could not escape him. And just because I think it's fun, a more recent example is in a comic strip called Arlo and Janice from March 17th, 2010. A Clerichaun shows up at a couple's door. Arlo greets him with a grin and says, "Faith and Begorra, 'tis St. Patrick's Day, and here comes a leprechaun." The caller, about half Arlo's height, with the comic strip bubbles in front of his scowling drunk face, answers, "Actually, I'm a Clerichaun." Arlo says, what?" And the Clerichaun responds, "I'm like a leprechaun, but meaner, and given half a chance, I'll drink all your wine." Arlo says, "Oy vey, even I'm not that Irish." And then, as you can
That's
see,
amazing.
there's similarities in the folklore, but also some incredibly unique flares to the Clerichaun, as opposed to the leprechaun. But yes, that's the Clerichaun.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh my god, that is so
that's
adorable. I think that is cute. I like it a lot. That's one of my favorites. I thought that, leprechauns were cool, but I might like Clericons a little bit more. But maybe if I learned more about
fun little
leprechauns,
guys.
I might like them. They're fun and they're cute, and I like the concept of them attaching themselves to a family. I just think that's
They're a
funny.
little aggressive, but you know what? You just gotta feed them and let them
You
get drunk.
will love me.
Yeah, that's right. You're stuck with me now.
I actually think the second story that you told us there at the end, I was told we were told that in school.
I can believe it.
Really?
Like, yeah. Well, there was this when I was like 11, 10 or 11, I was in a small country school that had basically like 22 students overall in the school.
Oh,
So
wow.
like very small. So they would like bring in like storytellers and stuff like that, like people like near the summertime where like this we would take lunch outside or like classes outside. They would bring people in to tell us stories. And that was one of the stories, except for the alcohol. I think they made it food instead of alcohol based, but like they told us that story about they said leprechaun. So that's why I thought the leprechaun were leprechauns there.
Oh.
I'm sure.
Same
I'm
thing,
also
'cause,
sure
like-
there is probably like crossovers or like mistake. You know what I mean? Like for
Yeah.
sure.
So,
But I didn't even know they existed until I started
I
looking
didn't
up.
even know. I thought there was just leprechauns. I didn't know that they had a friendly cousin.
Exactly.
Yeah, me
A
neither. Like
drunken Irish friendly cousin.
I didn't know that story was attributed to the I can't say the name.
The Clericon?
Clerichaun.
Clericon. I remember it as cleric and then con, like convention. So Clericon. That's how I remember it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna run an ad real quickly, and then we're gonna try and get John to cover Banshees. We're gonna start from the beginning of Banshees. I think the connection is working. I'm praying it's working.
Routers,
so let's freaking go. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the Selkies and the Clericons. Now we're going to learn about Banshees. So we'll be right back, you guys. Thank you so much. And sorry for you guys having to deal with all the technical issues we had before. Hopefully we're smooth sailing from
live,
now.
baby.
Knocking on shit. All right, here we go. We'll be back. Right. All right. We are back, you guys. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for hanging in there for the ads. We've got 20 seconds left in the ads. For those of you guys that probably don't know, we actually got our theme song, which is what you just heard. That was actually made by a good friend of ours named Gabriel Bosco. He also streams on Twitch, but he made that song as our special theme song. And I believe as of April, it's going to be 1 year anniversary since our theme song was born. So I still love it to this day. I think it's a beautiful theme song, and I hope you guys enjoy it. You guys get to hear it quite often whenever I do my cuts. But yeah, that was written by Gabriel Bosco. I basically asked him for a theme song for the podcast, and he basically asked me what the vibe was, asked me my favorite instrument. I told him that I loved the piano, and here we are. That theme song is going to be a year old as of next month, I believe. It might be a month after that. I'll have to double check and see when we got it, but it was fairly new, you know? Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and get back over here and say hi to everybody. All right, we're getting in here so we can say hi to John and to the beautiful Miso Thorny. Hi, baby.
Hello.
All right.
hello.
Hi. All right. So we are now moving on to our next topic, which was the Banshee. Let's go, Sassy
Yeah,
Squatch.
the Banshee.
Back.
Second posted chair. Let's go.
That's right.
Yeah. So the Banshee is a folklore that is mainly based out of Ireland and Scotland. It's a Celtic folklore, and I do believe before we get into it, I do believe we have a friend that is actually from one of the lines that one of the pure bloodlines in the lack of a better word called Kate's Elegy.
Oh.
Oh,
Kate's
Kate. I love
Kate
her.
is actually a part of one of the Scottish bloodlines that is more prone to being visited by banshees. I believe she told me that last year when you asked me to be on this and we picked the banshees. She actually is one of the Scottish bloodlines, which I
Yeah.
think is so fascinating.
Interesting.
For
Yeah,
those
that's
of you
really cool.
guys, Kate is she's one of the
Amazing.
third thick and spooky gals. She's one of our people that will step up whenever Miso's unable to do something or I'm unable to do things. She'll be the filler. So she's actually a part of the thick and spooky ghouls like main cast. She's just
Love
not
her.
here as often. And yeah, so she's done quite a few episodes with us. She did the episode with us last year, and that's where she covered the fairy dog, the Fey dog, aka Kushi. Remember that?
Kushi.
The Kushi
How
episode.
could I forget?
Kushi.
And then she also joined us for the oh my god, my brain is shutting down. What did Kate do? It was winter, wasn't it? Was it winter time that she joined us
Yes,
again?
I believe
And
she covered for me, right? Because I
covered Belle Schnickel. She covered the Yule Cat and
Yep, the
yeah.
boys.
Yeah, so she did our Christmas episode with us, and she also did the last Celtic episode with us. So John is basically talking about how she has a bloodline that has
Yep.
the Banshees.
Yeah, banshees. Yeah, which I always found really fascinating. So in Irish lore and Scottish lore, the banshees are basically tied to families, can be tied to families
Again.
strongly again, and if you are a pure bloodline, apparently you get visited more often with banshees than someone of mixed like lineage or not as pure for some whatever reason, just rich people being rich people.
That's a
Apparently,
weird rich people things.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
bonding type creatures. The bond with the children, the bond with yeah, lots of bonding. All of our creatures are bonded creatures this year or this
Yeah.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's funny how that works.
Right?
Works out. That is so cool.
They would seem to tie together like
yes.
that. Or some
Connections,
way.
baby.
Yeah.
We've been
So
talking
come
about this.
yeah. Common misconception of banshees is that when they show up, they are there to do harm, or like they can hurt you. Because I know a lot of modern TV, like for me, Scooby Doo episodes where the banshee would chase people and hurt people was always
Supernatural.
was my first introduction to the banshee. And I always thought the banshee was like scary and hurtful, but banshees are just benevolent creatures that are just basically bringers of sorrow. And when you hear them wailing and knocking at your door, if you let them in, they will. Their kind of keen and like wailing gets louder, and they will come in and people say when you let them in, they will search for the next victim. So someone in your house will die soon after.
Right.
See, this
But
is that what I know of banshees is a very few. I know that if they appear, they're considered an omen of death, and I
That's what I
also
know. Yeah.
know that what's the other thing about banshees that I knew that I was kind of, oh my god, my brain is shut down. Oh, I don't know if this is true, but some people like one of the things that I learned when I was much younger is if you hear a banshee scream, it can turn your hair white. That was another thing
Oh, I've
that
heard that.
that's another
that
thing that I got from banshees as well. But yeah, I don't know if
yeah.
that's accurate to your research.
Well, that is again because it is a more word of mouth folklore. That is something that I've heard growing up. That is one of the folklores that have one of the traits that have been put to banshees as growing up with them. Is like if you hear them wailing at the witching hour, your hair will turn white,
Yeah,
basically,
okay. So
because
okay.
it will frighten you. You have to for that to work. You have to actually open the door to them. You have to like engage with them.
Oh, I got
Just
goosebumps just
hearing
now.
them.
Wow, I just got goosebumps from that. Continue. I know literally you guys, my arms have goosebumps. I can't get it,
I-
but I just felt it just now.
if you hear anyone knocking at your door at 3 o'clock in the morning, don't open
Don't
it.
answer it. Even if there's not
No,
banshees, don't open your door at 3 in the morning. Don't do that now.
you hear? Oh, sorry. That just got me. You say
Don't do
don't do
that.
that now. Yeah,
Don't do that now.
it almost makes me want to do that kind of accent, and I know I can't because I can't do accents.
The only accent I know is hick.
Oh God! All I know is Irish farmer. That's all I know. Um, yeah. So if you do open your door, you're likely to see. Like I know that it has been propagated that banshees are like gaunt, like screaming creatures. But if you do see one, you'll see one of two kind of images, an old kind of an old withered crone kind of with white hair and rosy cheeks,
Do you want me to
and
show
they'll
the
have
pictures,
white
baby?
gaunt face. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I'll show the pictures for you.
it's
So,
it's mostly like a grandmotherly kind of creature. That is so it's kind of more along that line, and the cheeks will be more rosy, like
Old witchy
wind,
looking lady,
yeah,
yeah.
windswept kind of rosy cheeks.
And the other one's kind of more like a beautiful, like scary but scary lady
Yeah, and the second one that you can
with
see
teeth.
is like a youthful young woman with
Yeah.
red hair and like blue eyes, and they will be very pale. And again, they might have like a more rosy tinted, like just their cheeks will be rosy tinted, like
Hmm.
they're being windswept, like harsh wind, and they're just will basically just keen at you, and then they will scream before they leave. And that's when they scream, that's when the person dies.
Okay.
Like their loudest like bellow is the second the person is dead, which is
Now, are they killing the
very
person
interesting.
with their yell, or are they just they're screaming as the person dies?
They scream as the person dies. They are mourning that person.
they're
That's the
alerting.
whole
Okay, that's what I
They're
figured. Yeah, that
informing you that that
they're
person has
they're a
passed.
yeah.
messenger. Okay.
Their messenger. They are a warning and like a their mourning system, like
That's
telling
right,
you
because
that
you said
some
it's a long distance thing a lot of times.
a lot of times it's about like someone that has left and gone overseas or
Okay.
gone to like counties away or countries away, and you have no way of knowing if they're alive or dead. And if you see a banshee or hear them yell, you can safely say that person is dead. So you can start the
Right.
mourning process. It was a lot of people back in like the 1300s, 1400s was used that as a way of telling if someone died in a battle, or if they went to
Right.
England, died over in England, so they could start the mourning and kind of get over the person instead of just
Right.
holding on to that
Well,
hope and
and
you
that
know.
makes a lot of sense too, because even if the banshee isn't necessarily real, that it would be really hard back then to know. A lot of times, the person probably would be dead if they haven't written or they haven't heard anything back,
Mhm.
and it would be really hard for someone to let go and move on. So having this, and it would give them like, oh, okay, now I know, now I feel like I can move on, type of stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like it's kind of a healthy kind of
Mm-hmm.
mechanism of grief.
And the likelihood is they probably did, because it do
Yeah.
be like that in war.
Oh, it do be like that,
It do be like that.
especially in the times of like the 1300s
Yeah.
and the 1400s, where like famine and like
You catch a cold, you're dead.
yeah, and like if you're far away, you mightn't get enough food, and
Yeah.
that so you might just starve to death
Mhm.
and stuff. So it was a healthy way of just mourning,
Right.
and which brings us to the keening of
Oh
it,
boy, here we go.
which
The keening.
I'm
the
scared.
keening, which is it's actually weird how this keening started, because the keening started after a fashion of the goddess Bridget mourning her son that died in battle, but she probably the keening was a practice after her, but the banshees at the same time started from her as well. So the actual human practice of keening and uh wailing when you're mourning a dead one before they're buried, uh kind of started at the same time and from the same source as the actual folklore of the banshee.
Interesting.
So it was almost at the same time, or one just came before the other. So it was kind of like a little chain of events from sorry, from Bridget, the folklore of Bridget mourning her son, which I think is very like I think is very good, like because it went from folklore to something real back to folklore. Like that story touches real life in both ends of its history,
Right.
and which is amazing. There's actually something fun about a kind of sister to the banshee called a na bacchanal. This is ba-
What?
it's back and
You better say if you could pronounce it, it wouldn't be a podcast.
it's BOCA father NAIGH. You pronounce that.
I cannot. I think we know that
Exactly.
I can't pronounce things, all right?
Attempt it,
That's
and you
well
will just be
established.
one of us. We sometimes struggle here
One
with
of us.
translation, so you got to be one of us. You got to struggle through it. One of
and
us.
but Volcania. I see the Volcania. Volcanics.
Hey, there
I
you go.
can't.
See?
I don't know.
I feel like
And
that's
then
something.
Sounds right.
the Nan Bananianics. Fuck. I am butchering that all get out. But they are sister spirits kind of the banshee, where they are spirits that would male and female spirits that would hover over battlefields and be omens of death. If you see them
Oh.
there was death around or you would die, and
Kind
they
of.
would siphon your life away.
So they're kind of
They're
like
like
Oh my.
Valkyrie, but like the dark Valkyrie, like the scary.
they're vampiric Valkyrie, yes.
Oh,
Like
oh
energy vampires.
no, I don't like
Yeah.
it. Okay, I don't like it. Okay, so it's the
The,
opposite of what Valkyries do, pretty much.
yes.
Mm,
They're
okay.
omens of death. Like if you see them, they are actually they are creatures of the Irish goddess of the dead. And they hover over the male counterpart is basically what you think of Satan. It's like goat
Okay.
face, goat horns, and like just a goat
Oh,
body.
that's
And
pretty sick.
they would just hover over, and the female version is basically a banshee, but
Okay.
more gothic and like sexy.
Ooh,
Huh.
goth
Those
banshee.
things
I
don't sound too
see.
terrible.
Yeah, they're basically a banshee with wings. They're like a fallen angel banshee,
Oh shit.
and they would
Okay.
hover over the battlefield and
Definitely
like
like opposite
feed.
illustration of Valkyries. Definitely like one's dark,
Yeah,
the other one's light. Okay.
and they would feed on like the death instance of death that's happening beneath them, and sometimes they would actually feed on the body if you
Interesting.
see them. So
Yeah.
that it was so, and they are loosely connected to the banshee because of the kind of fae they are.
That they're like
When
omens.
omens of death and destruction and what have you. And
That's
that's
very interesting.
and that's basically banshees. Like
Yes.
outside of like what you know of
Yeah, internet.
the TV versions where banshees can actually harm you and do all these other
Right.
things.
They kind of
It's
just
just
sound like they're peaceful creatures that just like peaceful in the sense that they're there to help you grieve.
Yeah,
And
there's
they don't
omens.
mean
The
you
messengers
harm. They're literally just there to get you to
tell
the
you.
process of being able
In a
to work
terrifying
through it.
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying. I'd shit my
they're
pants if someone opened my door, like someone I care about died, and so it's just like, oh, I'm like, oh my god, what?
they're basically a medieval version of getting a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning from one of your parents.
Yeah, what a
That's
nightmare.
basically what it is. Why the fuck are you calling me? What happened?
Just screaming,
Yeah.
like, oh no.
But I do have some other little folklore things that I think
Ooh.
you guys would actually like.
Num nums.
The extra goat and angel people were one of them. But also in 2013, in the locks of Killarney, in the lakes
Mhm.
of Killarney, scientists actually found a big ass like a gigantic mass that was moving in the lock, in the lake, I should say. That there was no way for it to get there, and there was nothing in the lake that would ever be that size because it was a lake. There's no boats or anything. There was no way to get to sea or to a river or anything, so there was nothing that big. They had a it's not it had like a sonic sound. They did some radar stuff. Can't remember exactly. Did some radar stuff, and they found like they think a plesiosaur, like
Interesting.
a Loch Ness monster, like a lake monster in 2013, and you will never guess what they named this
What the
creature.
name it?
Mucky.
What?
They
I love
named it
that.
Mucky. Like
Mucky?
if you fall in a puddle of mud, you get mucky.
So its name is
Mucky.
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 Zybin said, "What is the collar?" If you're talking about my choker, it's not a collar. I do own collars because they're cute. They make collars for people too. Just though. Oh,
I
like
actually
wearing what I want,
I almost wore my collar today. Not joking. I
and
almost
because
wore the heart-shaped one today. I almost did.
it's called fashion, sweetie.
Yes. And
That was the most get fucked It's called Fashion Sweetie. I ever heard. It's called Fashion
So,
Sweetie.
And then
and thank you,
With the
Drake.
hair
for the Scytheners of Death that we were talking about, that's the spelling. Grarich Re Riben. So it's a very it's probably
Yeah,
Rock
that's a
Riben. I think it's
that's a
Rock
rough
Riben.
pronunciation
Yeah,
there.
it's hard, so I don't even know how to pronounce
what?
that.
That is not the spelling that I have.
Wait, then is this not it? Then what is the
No.
one? Oh, maybe type the one that you have. Ignore my last post, you guys. This is what I thought it was, but it might not be. Disregard my last post.
This is the female
Regard.
version.
Whoa! That
Bakana?
oh, I don't. Well, nope. Don't know how to pronounce it. So this is the
Bakane?
female version.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And this is the male version. I think this is the male version. They could be switched.
What the fuck? Yeah, no,
No, banana.
I can't even. I can't even.
Banana.
And the weird thing is, it's because of the fada over the A changes how the A sounds.
Oh
The
god.
second one sounds like some shit a minion would say. Straight up.
Wow, that is crazy.
No,
Okay.
banana.
I can see why you were definitely struggling because I'm looking at that and I'm intimidated.
Yeah, and teachers are thinking kids at like 4 years of age is going to learn words like that
No.
after only being
Especially.
spoken English to.
Yeah, I can barely speak English, so it ain't happening.
We'll ask Kate to pronounce it for us when we get into a call with her. I'm like,
That's
can
what
you
I was
pronounce
thinking
these for
earlier.
us?
If Kate knows Irish, that would be amazing.
She's good at pronunciation, so
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, that's good. That's
No
amazing.
pressure, Kate.
All the pressure.
Okay, so
Everything pressure.
do you have more bonus content for us?
I was gonna do the green cow, but that was taken.
I knew. Okay, that's cute that you thought of me because the reason Miso did it is
That's
because
why I did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is talking about the glass gibbon, which is the Milky Way cow, right? If I remember correctly,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Yeah. Look at the cow that produces milk and makes fertile ground wherever it walks.
Mm-hmm. I love them.
A gift from the god, but it also inspires greed among humans. So it's basically it inspires the worst of humankind, but still gives like the most to it, like life and
but say because it was
fertileness
but say infinite milk, and then wasn't it? If I remember correctly, because it's been a while, but the cow kept getting stolen. He had to go save
he was
the
getting
cow,
stolen.
and
yeah, he kept on moving. Yeah,
everybody was fighting over the cow, wars and things.
Yeah.
But I also like the other cow topic that she covered, which was about the two cows that or the two bulls that would be in opposite sides of a war between, the white cow and then is the other one the black cow? I think or it was brown cow. It was brown cow and a white cow. I thought. Yeah. All right, so we are moving on to the Ghoulish Bites. We're going to run a quick ad here, and then we're going to jump onto the Ghoulish Bites. The Ghoulish Bites is going to be our closing show. We talk about the topics we did, any extras. We ask our guests their favorite snack at the time. Talk about food, of course. It's the Ghoulish Bites. So give us another break, and thank you guys. Thank you, John, for giving us that story. It was really, really nice to finally get your topic here without internet issues. Yes. So
Finally.
Thank God for that. So let's go ahead and run that quick ad and we'll be right back, you guys. All right, I think we're back. Is my mic working? Yes, it is. I'm trying to see if my audio is working. My headphones, I think, are not working. Hold on, let me unmute in here. Hi, you guys. Can you hear me in the Discord?
We can.
And I can
Yeah.
hear you. Okay, for some reason, my headphones stopped working in the middle of the song again, and I think the song stopped playing. I might
Oh,
have
yeah.
to. I might need to update my stream deck and see why the theme song keeps on stopping and muting, but it shows that it's still playing on my stream deck, so I don't know what's going on with it.
I
There
see.
was an update lately for the Gato stuff.
Oh shit!
That
I'll
might be
probably have to.
because
I'll open the program after stream and see if there's any updates that I'm missing or something like that. So
yeah,
we are
because
now
my
on. Yeah, what were you saying?
mic did the same thing. It updated there 2 days ago, and it changed my microphone settings. I had to redo everything.
Yeah, so I'm having
So,
issues with the theme song on my stream deck, so I'll have to take a look at my stream deck because I do have the Elgato stream deck, so that explains a lot. So, hello everybody, welcome back from that break. I hope you guys enjoyed listening about Banshees and all the bonus content that John decided to share with us. And then we got to hear about the Clerichaun, which is the cousin of the leprechaun, but very cute and adorable. And we started with the Selkies today, which were the seals, aka the shape-shifting seals that can turn into human and coexist with humans. So, welcome back, HK. Hi. So, we here are doing the Ghoulish Bites, which the Ghoulish Bites is basically
Nom nom.
the closing for the stream. It's where we talk about the topics that we've talked about, and then we also talk about delicious snickety snacks. And so, John, do you have a current favorite snack that you just can't get enough of?
Yeah, for the last about year, I've been absolutely head over heels for some reason with cashew like chili peanuts, especially cashews.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Those are good,
Like
but I say I like the honey ones.
Mm.
I the texture for the honey ones for some reason hits my gag reflex. I
Fair
can't
enough.
I can't do it. And like the honey ones and the salt and vinegar peanuts can't do. Like it's a miracle that I can do the chili peanuts. And I just every chance I get, I buy like 10 bags at a time, so I don't run out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have a person that I met through my sister's community. You guys know Succubus626. That's my older sister. She does her streams and she's got her own community, but one of the people from her community named Baba. Every time I see Baba, I say
Oh,
yeah. So every time I see Baba, I say hi. And so she sent Succubus oh my model changed. Oh, okay, there we go. I was using the numbers and it didn't like it. And they sent some New Zealand snacks to my sister, and my sister shared these things called cookie bears with me.
Ooh.
Oh my
ooh,
god.
I'm intrigued.
Oh my god. So the cookie bears, they're like, oh yeah, it's so sweet, HK. So I got the like, yeah, and then she told her that Baba told my sister that she wasn't allowed to hoard the chocolates, so I also got some of the chocolates from them. So we'll talk more about those because I haven't tried them yet. But my sister's like, I was told I had to share. So she
Oh,
begrudgingly handed me the 2 chocolate bars. But yeah, so they have these things called cookie bears. And do you guys know animal cookies, like the little animal cookies with the pink and white frosting with the
yeah.
sprinkles? Okay, so the cookie bears are like a biscuit that's like a cookie, and on top of it has the pink frosting and then the sprinkles on it. But it is so good.
Oh, I know them.
It is
Yeah.
so good. So they're called cookie bears, and I got to try them, and I could not get enough. It was so good. But yeah, so I got to try some cookie bears from her, and then I tried these things called Jaffas, which are like chocolate, like hard candy coated chocolates. And
Oh.
they kind of remind me of
Ooh.
sixlets. I don't know if you guys know what sixlets
Yeah.
are. Yeah, so they kind of remind me of sixlets, but it's like a thicker candy shell.
Like a bigger
And
sixlet.
the chocolate
Texture?
isn't like milky sweet chocolate. It's got a deeper, richer, not quite dark chocolate taste, but like a richer chocolate flavor. So they're like sixlets, but they're better, I guess, would be the sense. Like, I just basically had better animal cookies and better sixlets so far. So yeah, so she also sent some Whitaker chocolate to me and my sister, and this one's the almond gold, which I'm gonna try later. And the other one is the
Ooh.
Whitaker's peanut slab. So I'm excited to try these later.
I'm
So
so jealous.
But yeah, and
something I've. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, and my other thing, I haven't cucumbers have been so hard to keep fresh, so like I'm not eating them fast enough, but I'm also not going to the grocery store fast enough to
Right.
to replenish if I eat too much, so I'm like in this weird place. So I haven't been eating as much cucumbers as I'd like, but I have been eating a shit ton of pineapple with tahini. Like I've just been eating pineapple with salt and tahini on it like nobody's business. And then I got introduced to the Arizona juices, and I have literally just like stopped like drinking my sodas and have just been drinking the Arizona iced teas or the Arizona juices. And then
Oh
it's
yeah, they're
also been
classic.
drinking more water. So like but not as much cucumbers, but I have replaced my cucumber intake with pineapples. I can't get enough pineapples right now, and I'm putting salt and tahini on it like nobody's business. So that's my current snack. What you got going on?
So one that in particular that I've been really into. I'm not getting it super often because of what it is, but I try not to eat sugar. But I've been getting rolled ice cream, and I don't know if you know what rolled I get when I get boba tea. There's a place that I go to nearby that does both. And I love boba tea with extra tapioca. So bad for me, so I try not to do it very often at all. Because again, I try to avoid sugar, too much sugar.
Do you
But
want to
the rolled ice
describe
cream,
Do you want to
yeah,
describe rolled ice cream for those that don't know?
oh yeah. So if you've ever had something called Dippin' Dots, it's like a super cold ice cream. They're little tiny balls, and they have they're like I forgot. It's like they're like flash frozen. They're frozen in a certain way to where they're very very cold. I forgot what it's called. But it's kind of what they do for the Dippin' Dots, but it's like a tray, like you see it like a hibachi or something, but it's cold. And they put out the ingredients. They put out cream, and what I get from mine is they do cream and coffee, and then I get Oreos in that, and they put it all on here, and they chop it up with like these little choppers, and then they roll it like this. After they all mix it all together and flatten it out, it freezes so they can roll it, and they roll up into these delicious little like Dippin' Dot textured, super cold, delicious ice cream little rolled up carpets. They're so good. And I love them. I cannot get enough of them, especially because I get the coffee base. It just tastes so good because they use actual coffee for it too. So it's so good. Coffee and Oreo.
That sounds so good right now.
The weird thing is, I know what that is simply because I get a lot of Instagram videos of people making them.
Eating it.
Never knew what it was called.
Just rolled ice
It's
cream.
so good.
Just
Oh,
rolled
it's
ice
so
cream.
good. The
My
strawberry.
first
I've had a strawberry cream one too.
my first exposure to it was several years ago, like over 10 years ago. And we went to into a vampire penguin kind of place, like a Japanese
Oh.
shaved a Japanese shaved ice place, something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And that's my first time experiencing was there. And then they were like rolling this, and then they put like a bunch of whipped cream on it and a bunch of sprinkles on top of it, and I was just like, oh my god. So yeah.
You know what I want to try?
What?
I keep seeing the viral like peach ice cream that is like a peach and like mangoes are
Oh,
actually
it
like they
looks
look like the fruit. I
mm-hmm.
want to try them so bad.
Me
That and the little jelly
too.
balls, little jelly stuff, or the crunchy jelly candy stuff. I'm like, that looks very satisfying to munch on. I want to
The ones
munch
that
it.
are you talking about the jelly candies that you can peel? Like it's like shaped like an orange, and you can.
Yeah,
I am
those.
so tempted. You and I have the same feed because those two snacks
Yeah,
keep on popping up on my feed.
that and the crystals, like the crystals are crunchy but soft on the inside. I'm like,
Oh
dude,
yeah,
I
yeah,
want a crunch roller so
yeah, the
bad.
Chris. Yeah, I also want that so bad.
Yeah.
I haven't found a place to buy it that I want to, and it's just so I just want to experience it once.
Oh, another really good ice cream. We go to there's about to be another train, of course. There is a Japanese store near us, and they sell this red bean and vanilla ice cream fish like ice cream that is like a waffle cone that has there it is, the vanilla ice cream and the red bean. And it's so damn good. I was so shook. I could not believe how delicious it was because I had never had red bean before this ice cream, and it was so fucking delightful. I also really have been liking anything mochi, so sugar is
I
my
love
worst
mochi.
best friend.
It's your worst. Yeah.
I have never tried mochi before.
Oh, it's so good. The texture is so satisfying.
John, what are your snacks, baby?
Um, my my snacks are like chili peanuts,
Just
and
the chili peanuts?
I've been really on a kick of salt and vinegar crisps. Like,
Hmm. They
uh,
hurt so good.
hurts so good. The ones we have a brand over here called Meanies, which is basically just uh a salt and vinegar, like a corn chip that is shape of like little hands claws, and it's just like very hit or miss of how much salt or how much vinegar is on a chip.
Oh,
So you could
okay.
get one that's very vinegary, or you get one that's
Yeah,
very salty, or you can get the rare one that is just absolute
nothing.
heaven, and it's or nothing. The worst is nothing. It's like I was expecting something, and
Just
you just get
disappointment.
yeah. It's like if I wanted to eat just corn, I would have corn on the cob. Just why? You scratched the roof of my mouth for nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, for me, like a cereal that I've been wanting is the Crunch Berries, but I know the torture of the
It
roof of my
hurts.
mouth being dead. But I really want some Crunch Berries. I've been craving them.
I like the peanut butter ones.
What I'm one of those weirdos that when I'm eating chips or crisp, um, I'm one of those weirdos that will pull out like a chip, like let's say it's a Dorito or something like that, and I'll like flip the Dorito to see which side has the most
Seasoning.
of the seasoning, and
Yeah.
I'll work on that and lick that before I eat the rest of it, but I always have to have the one with the most flavor touching my tongue. I
Okay.
will, and so you'll see me eat like bags of chips, and you'll see me literally investigate every chip that I eat. I also love doing that with they're like the corn chips, but they're the hint of lime corn chips. Oh my
Mhm.
god. I love those so much, especially with salsa, but I love the hint of lime chips. Oh my god. And those, I'll also look at those and be like, which one has the most flavor? So,
So my brain just triggered. So I'm so pissed off. Let me little miso rant here. Okay. Do you guys know who King's Hawaiian is? Like the brand, the bread brand?
yes, of
The
course.
sweet Hawaiian bread. I don't know if you get that over
No.
there in
We
Ireland.
do.
So
We
Oh
it's a
no.
John doesn't.
Oh,
so it's a
mostly your
Hawaiian bread,
American
which is like a
breads.
sweet. Yeah, it's probably not legal there.
Yeah. They don't take
Well, the thing with that, like for most American breads, we don't get it because we don't put as much sugar
Sugar,
in our
yeah.
breads.
It's bread. You have real bread. So
Yeah.
let me tell you about this delicious fake bread. So King's Hawaiian makes a delicious, it's called Hawaiian bread. And Hawaiian bread is like very sweet and it's usually like a dinner roll and stuff. But they
Mhm.
made a soft mini pretzel. Okay, let me tell you about these fucking mini pretzels. I'm about to rage. Okay, I'm so upset. I could cry right now. I found them. They were on the discount shelf at my local Krogies, okay? And I was like, "Ooh, this looks like I got queso, white queso at the house. I would love to eat these with it." I get them. They're so damn delicious. I'm like, I am buying these again. Oh my god, yes, I
No.
love this.
No.
They're gone. They're gone. They have not come
Oh,
back.
I
boo!
got those,
I'm
babe.
so
I bought those
fucking
same
mad.
things, but I had to go to a grocery store like 45 minutes from my house. It's a grocery store that
Oh
we
my
don't
God.
visit that, like, we don't go that far usually for groceries, but because we were picking up my necklace from our jeweler, Joe. Joe sometimes shows up here. But yeah, Joe is our jeweler, and we sometimes pick up our jewelry there, and we have a sushi place that we go to there, and then there's a grocery store that we go there, and that's the only place that I've been able to find those, and I was able to get
Makes me
them
so mad.
twice, and then I have not seen them
They're
again.
gone.
I
I
cannot
can't tell you how
find
devastated I am.
them. I'm
Because
so
I
upset.
tried. I grabbed a different brand of mini pretzels, and I was sitting there eating them, and it was just making me sad. It wasn't the same. I didn't even want them anymore. My brain was
I'm
like, you know what? I don't even want it now.
Toasty. Toasty just
I
gave
am
us a jump scare saying, I see you.
Oh,
Thanks for
Hey,
those 50 biddies,
Sophie.
Toasty.
I am so sad for you because over in Ireland I cannot find a soft pretzel, big, small, or medium, to save my life. All we have is the hard pretzels, like
weird.
like the salted ones that are just like
Mm-hmm.
rocks to
Yeah,
bite
just like
into,
the chippy ones. Yeah.
chippy ones. And I'm like, all I want is a soft pretzel. I had
I wonder
ones.
if it's just not like something that you guys sell there because of the whole, not bread thing.
Maybe, but I would assume, like, because I've never seen a pretzel being sold from like a vendor or like in
Weird.
a bakery. I only see them on like in bags on shelves. Like pretzels aren't a thing that is made here.
That makes me so sad for you. I can't I love a good soft pretzel with like queso or beer cheese. Forget about it.
Yeah,
Forget about it. I will mess
Gi-
up a soft pretzel and
give me
nachos.
bread that I can dip into sauces, and I'm a
Mm.
happy little floof.
I wish I could send you delicious Americanized breads.
No, the weirdest thing is like pretzel's the only breaded thing from America outside of like hot dog buns or like buns in general that you have for burgers and stuff that I can actually stand. You give me any slice of bread like Wonder Bread or anything like that, my taste
No,
buds
our normal breads are pretty bad.
Lately
because
I've been getting a lot of potato bread, and there's just, I don't know, there's something I'm in a potato bread kind of mood lately. Like, I love
what
potato
is
bread.
potato bread?
It's
It's
it's bread that uses potato as the base instead of
flour. Yeah.
flour.
How is this not an Irish invention?
I'm gonna say I'm surprised you don't have that.
Well, we get enough starch in our diet anyways. We can put bread and flour together. Like,
Toasty, the mini pretzels I was talking about were literally
The
they
King's
tasted like
Hawaiian.
delicious. Yeah, they tasted like little Hawaiian rolls, but in a pretzel-y way, and I can't express to you how delightful they were.
And
They
we'll
keep taking
probably
my things away from
never
me.
get them again.
No, I keep getting things that I love. I keep getting things that I love, and then they stop making it, and it pisses me right off, man.
You know, that happens to
Potato bread
me.
is good.
That happens to me
Pisses me off.
so frequently that Jinja,
I'm a
when I grab something that I'm curious about, Jinja's like, you should grab two. And I'm like, what if I don't like it? He goes,
Vulgar started doing that.
he's all like, if you like it, you'll come back and you won't find it again. So every time I see something that I'm curious about or that I'm really excited about,
Yeah,
and he'll be like, don't grab just one. So
Yeah.
he's teaching me to be better. But potato bread
makes me
is
so mad.
pretty good bread. But potato bread has been my bread lately.
So I've been eating because I do try to watch my sugar. Carbs are sugar, right? So I don't do keto or anything like that, but I use keto items because they tend to be lower in carbs. I found a bread that is like 80 calories for 2 slices. It has like no sugar, very low in carbs. It's not like the best bread, but for a like keto bread, it is the best one I've found so far, and it toasts pretty well. But if I want like a grilled cheese or something, I'm doing, a real bread like Texas toast or, you know, potato bread, something nice with a nice aged white cheddar. Mm.
ooh, you had me
Goddamn.
at cheddar.
I'm getting
Egg white
hungry.
cheddar. Yeah, I say I think I'm just hungry at this point.
I'm getting hungry. I'm hungry, but I'm getting even more hungry.
I think we're all just hungry. We've just been talking about food. It's been a ghoulish bites, a real ghoulish bites. We've just been talking about food
I can't be
the whole
hungry.
time.
I ate not half an hour before this podcast started. I had like a good helping of chips and chicken. Like I should not be hungry, but yet I am.
It is called the Ghoulish Bites. We talk about snacks, and then we talk about other things aside from snacks. But we usually
Stop haunting my belly. Leave it alone.
HK says y'all making me hungry.
Dude, I'm gonna have to make some food immediately. I have to make some poor nighttime decisions here in a second.
But so now that we've discussed our Ghoulish Bites and I talked about the treats that was sent to my sister by Baba, oh, my sister says she bought them, but Baba wanted me to try it. So anyways, is there anything we want to discuss here from our topics that we didn't cover at all? Like, is there anything that I missed or anything that you guys had questions about? Chat if you guys had questions about either the Selkies.
I don't think there's anything on my end.
The hold on, the Clerichaun,
Clerichaun, yeah,
and the Banshees. If you guys had any questions about those, please let us know so we can talk about it and discuss it even further. And Jonathan says, "Hi, Sasquatch."
Oh, I saw. About 20 minutes too late, me.
Jonathan, I'm sorry to hear that old lady needed 105 bags of concrete for some reason.
Does your I'm like your back hurts. If you end up at Taco Bell, I'm blaming you guys.
I love Taco Bell.
Oh man.
I have never tried Taco Bell. I've never had the opportunity to. It's one of the fast foods that I want to get when I go back to America. It's like I have to get the Taco Bell experience. Because
I hope it's delightful for you.
The food,
I really do.
The food just looks mediocre, and what I've seen inside the restaurant, it looks worse.
Let me explain it to you. I crave Taco Bell when I want to be unhealthy, or if you've been out drinking with friends or out at night and late at night. It's one of the few places that's still open. So it's definitely like a late night unhealthy choice. And that's what Taco Bell is. Taco Bell is literally your very unhealthy comfort food from going out drinking, singing karaoke, or smoking. It's the thing that cravers go to because it's open at night. You can get a lot of food, and it's unhealthy but also delicious in its unhealthiness. So it's oily and greasy. So especially if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, it's so oily and so greasy that it's the most appealing thing for when you're drinking beer.
So what I'm hearing is it's the first of two mistakes that will happen after 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's not
you
healthy.
Go to Taco Bell and then go home with a mistake.
But it's definitely yeah.
Good to know.
Toasty says they had a sobriety check down the street last time I went. If that's not a trap, I don't know what it is.
It's a smart place to put it for sure.
All right, so do we have anything we want to talk about with the Selkies or anything like that?
I'm very surprised, like how the Selkies and like the Selkies and like the mermaids from like Greek mythology and lore kind of intersect in the way that they interact with like the humans.
Yes.
Like in Greek lore, like Greek myths, the I can never remember mermaids. Why can't I remember that word? Mermaids like would sit on the rocks and like
the
sirens would bring in, but they would turn out to be like walruses.
So this is the thing, okay? People can like often like make a mistake on sirens and mermaids, but there's actually a huge difference because for some reason at some point mermaid or sirens became more like mermaids than what they actually are. For some reason their mythology, they became more of like a beautiful woman of the ocean that lures you to your death, but they were actually supposed to be like women. They're harpies more like, and more like they look like harpies more than anything. They're more bird like than they are fish like. Yeah, they're sirens. If you look up sirens, hold on, because I swear to God I did some research on this, and sirens are usually.
Oh no, you're the mermaid person. I would believe it.
Yeah. Like, correct me.
I know you hyper focus on the mermaids, girl.
Yeah, so hold on, I'm trying to find. Yeah, so in classical Greek mythology, you'll see illustrations here. I'll pop it in the because I just think that this is very interesting. Hold on, how do I open in a new tab? All right, so like I'll show you like a quick. Where's my OBS? Oh shit, hold on. I got this, you guys. I got this. I am under control. So this is what they were originally supposed to look like. If you look at them, instead of them being more fish-like, they're actual women with bird bodies.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've seen this in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, those are actually what sirens like. That's what I remember sirens being. But for some reason, sirens became more like mermaids than what their original thing is. So if you guys didn't know, sirens aren't mermaid-like, and Selkies are more like mermaids than sirens are like mermaids, because sirens are bird.
Which would make sense though,
women.
because sirens would be out on the rocks, you know, even as birds would be out on the rocks in the ocean because they're birds. So
yeah.
So
still
be able to be out there.
I'm surprised you guys didn't know that. I thought it was like
I didn't know that.
Oh my god. Okay, so
it's coming together now.
That if I knew it, that's information that just left my brain, so just regressed to like seals.
I didn't put it together, but I was watching one of the seasons of
it's the season
What
3.
We Do in the Shadows.
It's like season 3 where Laszlo and oh, she was so funny too.
Colin, yeah. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
So says sirens have great voices. Mermaids have great tits.
True.
All right. So if we have nothing else to discuss, you guys have anything else? John, I interrupted you mid-sentence there. You were talking about sirens and mermaids and how they're similar to Selkies.
That was it. You answered my question.
Okay.
You actually, my question's null and void now since they're bird people.
But we learned things today too. So.
Yeah. So I hope you guys learned something fun and educational. I hope you guys had fun with us. I hope you guys learned something new. If you didn't know about Selkies, let us know. If you didn't know about Clerichauns, let us know. If you didn't know about Banshees, let us know. Or if your idea of Banshees are wrong. And did you guys know that sirens were bird women more than fish women? I want to know.
I didn't know. Thank you, John, for joining us. It means a lot.
Always.
So glad we were able to get your segment out.
Yeah.
And thank you, Jet. Thank you, Toasty. Thank you, everybody that came by. Jonathan, everyone that was in chat. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, it really
I'm so
means
sorry that
so
my
much
internet shit the bed.
It's okay. You know what? We got it out, and it's
work it
all
through.
that matters. Yep, it happens. That's what when you're live. Sometimes you're gonna have some nice wrenches thrown into the works. So
we've learned to adapt in this place here. We've gotten hate rated. We've gotten so many technical issues. We had to start a stream 2 hours late because of power issues, internet issues. We have technical issues. We've had me talking to them with the camera only looking at me and not, I've had technical issues for sure. I am not good at navigating and streaming and talking at the same time. Apparently all three of them, sometimes my brain just says a no.
And technical issues like to happen at the worst time. So, but we did it, and it was a fabulous time, and I really just appreciate everybody very much.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do our little outro. After we do our outro, we're gonna go and find someone to raid to. So we'll do the outro, stay with us for the raid afterwards, and then we'll go and find someone to bring this party over to. All right. So, John, the way we do this is I usually start with "We'll stay thick," and then our guest usually says, "And." Thank you, Toasty, for those 200 biddies. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I still haven't gotten the Patreon page done. I still haven't gotten the Facebook page done. I'm still trying so hard. Okay, I need to get to it.
Don't stop stressing yourself. Stop it. Stop stressing yourself. You do amazing.
All right, so I'll say the first part, John, you'll say and Miso will close us out, and then we'll have a pause of silence there so I know where to cut it in the video, and then we'll chit chat while we find someone to raid to. So, are you ready, John?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We'll stay thick.
And
you stay spooky. Spooky.
Woo! All right. So let's go ahead and find someone to raid out to. John, I seriously am so excited that you got to join us. I hope that this wasn't too stressful. So excited that you got to join us. Yeah, I'm hoping that this wasn't so stressful that you won't come back. Like if I ask you to come back, hopefully you're willing to come back, you know.
Name the time and place. I'll come back.
Good.
It's just, this is amazing.
I had several people that wanted to do the podcast with us last year, but then they didn't realize that it takes a little bit of work. So some of them's like, I don't know if I want to go through that again. So it's okay if they don't. We enjoyed them for them, but it's not, it is what it is. So here is our pod raid. Go ahead and copy and paste that message. We're going to go ahead and take this over to one of my big supporters that come to this channel quite frequently. She was already here earlier. We're going to take this over to the beautiful Rati Mama, show her some love. She is one of the most supportive people I have found on Twitch. And like I said, she's one of the first people that purchased a Thick and Spooky Ghouls pin from us. So we do have those for sale if you want them. Message me and I'll give you the pricing for the I have 3 pins that we sell. I've got my pins and then we've got the Thick and Spooky Ghouls pins. So let's go ahead and take this over to the beautiful Roddy Mama. We appreciate you guys. I hope you guys learned something new today. And we'll have a special episode released tomorrow or on Sunday on Spotify for the Spooky Slumber Party, which is the place that stories go that don't belong quite in the podcast, but kind of. It's one of those weird things. So let's go ahead and take this.
We want to talk about.
Yeah, some extra stuff that we can quite fit into the paranormal, strange, and unexplained portion of it all. So we appreciate you guys. Say goodbye, John. Say goodbye, Miso.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Raid.
A blast.
Boop.